If you've ever searched for foods that are bad for your kidneys, you've probably come up with potatoes and bananas at the top of the list. Well, let's talk about whether that's really true and whether or not you need to stop eating those, or maybe you need to eat more. Stay tuned. Thanks so much for watching today. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. I'm Dr. Blake Schusterman. I'm a board-certified kidney doctor, and I'm also the Cooking Doc, author of the Cooking Doc's Kidney Healthy Cooking, a modern 10-step guide to preventing and managing kidney disease. Today we're talking about potatoes and bananas and whether or not these foods and some other common foods that you may have heard are bad for your kidneys actually are. Okay, so let's push these out of the way and actually get to the truth. Now, medical school residency and fellowship, which is 9 years, they don't really teach you a lot about nutrition and diet and the way it affects kidney disease or your health overall. Now, luckily, a lot of that is starting to change, and I'm actually teaching medical students about how to incorporate nutrition information and knowledge into their practice, but when I was training, I didn't get any of it. So the reason these foods pop up on those lists is because they're high in potassium. And high potassium foods can be difficult to eat for people who have advanced kidney disease. So when your kidney levels get to a point where they're not filtering the things that you eat very well, those levels can build up in your blood. And potassium is one of those things that can build up and become dangerous if it's at too high of a level. So people with stage 4 and 5 kidney disease, or people who are on dialysis, sometimes, not always, but sometimes have a tendency to develop high potassium if they're eating too many high potassium foods. And bananas and potatoes and sweet potatoes are definitely high potassium. So these foods definitely have to be limited for some people with kidney disease. But let's talk about whether they're actually bad for your kidneys. That's where it gets interesting. Now remember, everything we talk about here today is just information. This is not medical advice. Talk to your doctor before you make changes to your diet. For most people, high potassium foods are really good for their bodies and also really good for their kidneys. Even if people have stage 1, 2, or 3 kidney disease, not everyone, but a lot of them can also eat high potassium foods. They are also really good for people with diabetes who are at risk of developing kidney disease, and they are super good for people who have high blood pressure and who are at risk for developing kidney disease. So people out there who have high blood pressure but not kidney disease and no history of high potassium in their blood can eat a lot of high potassium foods, and it actually may impact your health in a good way. So it can help you lower your blood pressure. It can also help lower your risk of stroke. So eating more potassium foods actually can be good for you and good for your kidneys. Again, not medical advice, just information. That's right, so a diet where you have an orange and a banana for breakfast and then beans and an avocado for lunch and greens and salmon for dinner actually can be really healthy. And that's probably not surprising because those are a lot of the tenets of things like the Mediterranean diet and the DASH diet. So I'd actually encourage you to get more potassium in your diet unless you have a risk for high potassium or have had high potassium in your blood before because of having advanced kidney disease. So my favorite high potassium foods that can actually work to help you lower your blood pressure and lower your risk of stroke include things like bananas and tomatoes and avocados and beans and spinach and cooked chard, Swiss chard. God, I love me some Swiss chard. Anyways, I have lots of recipes with these ingredients on my website. And if you're not at risk for high potassium, it probably makes sense to incorporate these in multiple meals a day. And if you do have kidney disease and you're wondering if you can actually ramp up the potassium in your diet, a quick discussion with your doctor or your dietitian can probably help you answer that question very quickly. So to sum it up, bananas and potatoes and other high potassium foods are really never bad for your kidneys. And for a lot of people, they actually help manage some of the problems that can lead to kidney disease like high blood pressure. Now, high potassium foods like bananas and potatoes do have to be limited in some people who have advanced kidney disease, but it's not because they're going to make the kidneys worse and that they're bad for the kidneys. It's just that that potassium level can get higher if you're at risk for them and your body is not clearing out that potassium when you eat a lot of it. Thanks so much for watching today. I've been wanting to talk about this topic for a long time. I'm finally glad I got to it. I'm Dr. Blake Schusterman. I'm a board-certified kidney doctor, and I'm also the Cooking Doc. Make sure you head over to my website, cookingdoc.com. Check out my book, The Cooking Doc's Kidney Healthy Cooking, a modern 10-step guide to preventing and managing kidney disease. And I will see you next time.